Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when we look back and ask ourselves, did I live with purpose or did I just exist? The truth is, life is not measured by how long we live, but by how well we live. And I have come to tell you today, if you wait too long to understand life, it won't make sense after 60. By then, you will realize that time is the most expensive thing you ever had, but you spent it cheaply. The dreams you buried in fear will start whispering regrets, and the opportunities you ignored will haunt you. So today, I want to give you 3 key principles to live by before life stops making sense. Purpose is not a function of how long you have lived. It is a function of how well you understand why you were created. You see, the tragedy of life is not growing old. It is growing old without ever discovering why you were here in the first place. There are people who reach the age of 60 and suddenly realize they have spent their entire lives running in the wrong direction. They chase careers, money, recognition, and social status, only to wake up one day and find their hands full, but their hearts empty. Because purpose is not found in possessions, titles, or achievements. Purpose is found in knowing why you were born. Some people spend their whole lives moving, but they never make progress. They confuse activity with purpose. Just because you are busy does not mean you are productive. A man can spend years climbing a ladder only to reach the top and realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. That is why understanding purpose is critical. It gives direction to your energy. It tells you what to pursue and what to ignore. Without purpose, life becomes a cycle of meaningless activity. Automatically brings clarity. But I have news for you. Time does not reveal purpose. Intention does. There are people who are 20 years old, yet they are living with focus and vision. They know why they are here, and they are maximizing their days. And then there are those who are 60, still trying to figure out what they are supposed to do with their lives. Purpose is not a reward for aging. It is a discovery for the intentional. If you don't actively seek it, you can grow old without ever finding it. History is full of people who discovered their purpose early and changed the world. Mozart was writing symphonies at the age of 5. Joan of Arc led an army at 17. Alexander the Great conquered nations before he was 30. But at the same time, history is also filled with people who found their purpose later in life and still made an impact. Colonel Sanders started KFC in his 60s. Nelson Mandela became president after spending 27 years in prison. Age was never the determining factor. Purpose was. The problem is, too many people live by the wrong clock. They measure their lives by society's timeline instead of destiny's design. Some say, by 25, you should have a degree. By 30, you should be married. By 40, you should own a house. But who told you that your life must follow a pre-written script? If purpose was tied to age, then every 50-year-old would be wise. But we all know that's not true. The reality is, wisdom is not measured in years. It is measured in understanding. The real question is not how old are you, but how well do you know why you are here? Because the moment you discover purpose, your age becomes irrelevant. The moment you understand your assignment, you stop comparing yourself to others. You stop worrying about who is ahead or who is behind, because you know that life is not a race, it is a calling. And your calling is unique. There are people who spend their lives waiting for the right time to start pursuing their dreams. They say, when I turn 40, I'll start my business. When I retire, I'll travel the world. When my kids are grown, I'll finally do what I love. And then one day, they wake up at 60 and realize they have spent their whole lives waiting. They have waited so long that now they don't even have the energy to pursue what they once desired. They realized that purpose was calling them years ago, but they ignored it. The danger of waiting for the perfect time is that it never comes. There will always be obstacles. There will always be challenges. There will always be reasons to delay. But purpose does not wait for convenience. It demands action. You don't need to have everything figured out to start. You just need to be willing. Because the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to change course. So don't let age deceive you. Just because you are young does not mean you have time to waste. And just because you are older does not mean it is too late. The only time you truly have is now. Purpose is greater than age, and the sooner you discover it, the better your life will be. Time is the most valuable gift given to mankind. It is not something we can earn, buy, or borrow. Every second that passes is a second that will never return. Unlike money, which can be regained, or possessions, which can be replaced, time is irretrievable. Once it is gone forever. And yet, despite its value, time is the most abused resource on earth. People waste it as if they have an unlimited supply. They spend years doing things that do not matter, chasing things that do not fulfill, and engaging in activities that do not contribute to their purpose. Then, when they finally realize their mistake, they wish they could go back. But time does not move backward. It only moves forward. Life is measured in time. Every day you wake up, your life account decreases. From the moment you were born, a countdown began, and one day that countdown will reach zero. The problem is that most people live as if they have forever. They think they have time to waste, time to play, time to delay. They say, I will start tomorrow. I will do it next year. I still have time. But what they do not realize is that time waits for no one. It does not pause for your convenience, nor does it slow down for your indecision. The person who wastes time is the person who wastes life. There is a myth that people believe, that life automatically gets better as you grow older, that one day, without effort or intention, everything will just make sense, but that is a lie. Life does not reward age, it rewards purpose. Just because you grow older does not mean you grow wiser. There are people who have lived 50 years but have only 10 years of experience because they spent 40 years wasting time. And there are those who have lived 25 years and already have a lifetime of wisdom because they have been intentional with every moment. The tragedy of life is not death. It is reaching the end of your life and realizing you never really lived. There are people who get to 60 and suddenly wake up. They look back and see decades filled with empty days. They see opportunities they ignored, dreams they abandoned, talents they never developed. They see a life spent on distractions rather than destiny. And by the time they realize it, they have more past than they do future. They wish they could go back, but time does not offer second chances. The richest place on earth is not the oil fields of the Middle East or the diamond mines of Africa. No, the richest place is the cemetery, because it is filled with untapped potential. It is full of books that were never written, businesses that were never started, songs that were never sung, and ideas that were never shared. It is full of people who wasted time thinking they had more of it. People who had dreams but never acted on them. People who had gifts but never used them. And now, their time is up. The greatest mistake a person can make is believing that time is on their side. Time is not loyal. It does not wait for you to be ready. It does not give you second chances. Every moment you waste is a moment you will never get back. Every hour you spend on things that do not matter is an hour you will wish you had when it is too late. Some people waste time on meaningless relationships, chasing people who do not care about them, investing energy into things that do not add value to their lives. Others waste time waiting for the perfect conditions, thinking that one day everything will be just right. But let me tell you something. There is no perfect time. The only time you have is now. Some people waste time because they do not understand its value. They think, I have plenty of time, so I can afford to waste a little today. But time wasted in small amounts adds up. A day turns into a week. A week turns into a month. A month turns into a year. And before you know it, 10 years have passed and you are in the same place with the same excuses, the same regrets, and the same unfulfilled dreams. Time does not ask for permission. It does not care about your plans, your delays, or your distractions. It simply moves forward, whether you are ready or not. The most dangerous thing about wasting time is that you do not realize you are wasting it until it is gone. You tell yourself you are just taking a break. You convince yourself that you are figuring things out. But in reality, you are watching your life slip through your fingers. You are letting days turn into decades while you stand still. And then, one day, you wake up and realize that you have spent your entire life waiting for the right time to live. There are people who reach old age with a mind full of wisdom, but a heart full of regret. They look back and wish they had started earlier, moved faster, and lived bolder. They realize that time was not the problem. The problem was their mindset. They thought they had forever. They thought they had tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes for those who keep waiting. Time is the currency of life. You can either spend it wisely or waste it foolishly. But one thing is certain, you will never get it back. The greatest tragedy in life is not dying, it is dying full of ideas you never executed, full of dreams you never pursued, full of talents you never developed, and full of potential you never used. The wealthiest place in the world is not the banks, not the gold mines, not the stock markets. No, the wealthiest place is the graveyard, because it holds inventions that were never created, books that were never written, songs that were never sung, and visions that never became reality. Too many people go to their graves without ever emptying themselves of the gifts that were placed inside them. They live as if they have forever. They postpone, delay, and hesitate. They wait for the right moment, the perfect conditions, the safest path. But life does not wait. Every day that passes is a page of your story that you can never rewrite. Every moment wasted is a moment stolen from your destiny. Many people live their entire lives in fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of criticism, fear of stepping out of their comfort zones. They allow fear to paralyze them into inaction. But what they do not realize is that the real failure is not trying.